Some says it is the strongest that survive. But in this life, it is not even the smartest, but those with a strong mindset to overcome the various waves life sends us. At the Heart Talk, we will teach you how to develop this strong mindset. There is an urban medical legend that says we only use 10% of our brains. Imagine a world knowing how to precisely navigate the world of your heart. Join us on KMTV every Tuesday from 7 to 8 for the program The Heart Talk, a program that will completely change your paradigm of life. Welcome to our program today, right here on KMTV with me, your host, Reverend Saye Carson. And I hope that you have a nice time listening to the Heart Talk right here on KMTV. Our today's topic is the power of words. It's a very important topic because it has to do with every one of us. Every culture, every people speak languages and they speak words. But the words they speak, not a lot of people have the mind and the knowledge that these words that they speak have power. And in our today's society, people, they just play with words according to what they want or how they want to say things. And in Africa, we do not have a nuclear weapon. I don't know about any of our African countries that have nuclear weapon, but most of the parents, according to what they say to their children, is very toxic, is very dangerous. These things actually have the propensity to have a very, very negative effect on the children in years to come. That is the reason why, as you are a parent or the person who is trying to become a parent also, you must know. And also, even in your life as a person, working and living, these things also have a very negative effect on our biology. And they also could have positive effect if we know how to use the words. The words that we speak, they have energy. They are very powerful. But a lot of people do not know that words have power. And so today we want to give you a lot of education about this on our program right here, the Heart Talk. Let's go to our first slide right there. It says, words have the power to both create and destroy. And if you look downward, it says mothers use short words to create every step. Now, a lot of the things, though they are transferred to us through our DNA, but most of the things that we learn, they come from our parents. They come from what we hear, our day-to-day activity. There's a friend I know. He went to school. I mean, he did not go to school to go to a very high level in his education. But actually, he's a person who knows how to speak a lot of vocabulary. The reason why these things happen is because his father is a principal. He learned these things from his father. And he did not go very far in school, but he learned many things, many words from his father. Like there's also a lot of the things that we learn in our life, a lot of the things that we have in our mouth, in our mind, in everything that we do. These things come from the things that we hear from a very young age. We hear them from our parents. We see them in our parents. And a lot of people do not know that if they make a palaver right in front of their children, if they fight in front of their children, these things can affect their children. That is the reason why people must think very deeply about the mental health of a lot of young people. Actually, the words that we speak, they are very, very powerful. And if you do not know about them, that they can have effect on you, you can even check it from the biblical point of view. When Jacob second wife Rachel had a child, at that time in the Bible it says that the child she was dying. And then based on this kind of pain, thinking about what will happen to the child, knowing that she was in a polygamous relationship, she thought a lot about what will be the effect of this child growing up under a stepmother. That is the reason why she named her child Benini. And this name Benini means the son of sorrow. This have a lot of negative effect on the child. And from that point, The father named the child another name. The father gave the child Benjamin. Benjamin, the meaning of Benjamin is the son of the right hand, the son of power. If the father would have accepted that this son was a son of sorrow, this child could have lived his whole life in sorrow. Think about it. Anytime they will call this child, they will only say, son of sorrow, where's son of sorrow? Where's son of sorrow? And then it will have a lot of negative effect on the child. That is the reason why the father changed the name. And Benjamin grew up to be a very, very amazing young man. And then he grew up among his brother as a jewel. Like this also, according to the kind of mind, according to the kind of name that you give to your children. A lot of people, they say to their children, dog, dog, you are pig. And children grow up today and they wonder, why is it that my child is like this, my child is different? You have given this kind of negative name to him from the young age. That's why this child grow up and become a drug addict. That's why this child grow up and they do not have any kind of positive things as they grow up. They are never happy. It is because you have given them this kind of negativity from a very young age. That is the reason why as you raise your children, you must be very careful about this. And as you live your life speaking words, you must be careful. If you speak the word, it is impossible. It starts to become harder. It starts to become difficult because you've said it is impossible. That is the reason why you must be very careful about the words that you speak to yourself also. You must be able to speak a lot of positive things to yourself. You must be able to think in very positive way. Even in the Bible it says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. That is the reason why you must think deeply. The Bible also said death and life lies in the power of the tongue. The tongue is a very powerful object on our body. Even in the book of James, the Bible spoke of this as something that is very powerful. As you live your life, you must be very careful about the words that you speak. They could be negative, but they could also be positive. Now, let's go on to our next slide. This is a test that was done on cat cause. This cat cause was raised by a certain man, and then he raised other cat calls out of the house. The one that he raised in the house, he will usually play with the cat calls. He will usually speak nice words to the cat calls and touch them. And because cat calls are weak plants, they are easily smashed and broken. It is the reason why the cat calls must grow the tongue to protect itself. But when this man began to speak words that were nice to the cat calls and play with the cat calls and made the cat calls feel comfortable, the cat calls now could not grow the tongue, or the next generation of them came out without spark and they were without tongues. Now, according to the words that we speak to ourselves or other people, they both have the power to destroy people. It is words that people use to declare war. It is words that people use to declare peace. So our words are very important, and we must be very careful about what kind of words that we speak to ourselves. They might be good, they might also be very dangerous for us, our health, and our children. Now, the next one, they said, at the Colorado Women's College in Denver, this was a test that was done. And then it came to find out that if you play music in a room where a plant is growing, the plant tends to grow toward the music. Now, the music, whether positive or negative, had a lot of effect on the plant. And now, a certain person I know in South Korea has a vineyard. And based on this study, he played music for his grapes. And then from the beginning, a lot of people who were close by felt this man was out of his mind. How can you not play music for people, but you are playing music for the grapes? And then his grape, it was able to produce 10 times the normal. If you look at the grapes there, 10 times the normal grapes that are usually produced from his vineyard. It is because that he played music, and the grapes, they were reacting to the nice music that were being played toward them. The next slide, they said listening to good music can also improve your well-being. If you know about the heavy metal, I don't know whether you listen to it, but I used to like it before I got to know, before I did the mind education. But I got to know that the heavy metal is actually really dangerous for our health. What it does is that it disorganizes the particles of our bodies. Our bodies are made of water. And then, um, according to the sound, the water here, it can either form nice, beautiful crystals or very, very bad crystals. Now, another thing about the words also, the power of words is based on a study, not a study, but it was it was a certain mistake that was made. But I think if you know most of the discoveries, some of the discoveries that we have today, they weren't discovered like they were studying them and they discovered them. They were mistakenly discovered. In our next slide, Emma Couy was a French physician and a pharmacist. One day while selling his medicine, a certain person came in his medicine store. And this person came in the medicine store and they said they wanted some medication. You want medication? Yeah. And what for what disease? And then he said, but this man did not have the medication for that disease. That is the reason why he just put his hand inside of the chef and gave the man certain medicine. Now, this man took the medicine, and when he took the medicine, we could see that he could see that the medicine had a very positive effect. Why did it work? It was because the person whose mindset had developed that this medication that he was taking was actually for the disease that he had. So what healed him was his belief, his reliance upon the credibility of this physician and the medicine that he was taking. In this way, Emma Couy developed the autosuggestion, and he was able to heal a lot of people that were suffering from terminal disease during his lifetime. Like this also, what is the autosuggestion? Autosuggestion is like this: I am getting better and better. Day by day, I am getting better and better. Those who speak these things to themselves and those who always murmur and those who always complain, they are different. What does the murmuring and the complaint do? It actually releases the serotonin into our body. When it releases this hormone called the serotonin into our bodies, the serotonin have a lot of a positive effect, but also when they are released in the body in a very large quantity, what happens is that the body is trying to repair. It thinks there is something that is wrong by the complaint and the negative things that people are saying unto themselves. So in trying to repair, for example, if you are repairing a car that is not spoiled, in the end you might get it spoiled. That is the reason why when this hormone is released in the body without any damage that is initially there, the very hormone which came there to create some positive effect will start to have a negative effect on a person. Yeah. So that is the reason why as you live your life, instead of saying impossible, notice that if you divide that word impossible, impossible, is saying that I'm possible. It is possible that things can happen. But once you have the mind, it cannot be done. It is impossible. This is difficult. From that very point, you will have a lot of problem in whatsoever situations that you are facing. You must always have the positive mindset that it can be done. It is possible that this can happen. It works. It works. Have this mind. Don't have the mind that it doesn't work. It works. It always works. And those who have the mind that it works always have been able to conquer a lot of difficulties that they face. Thomas Edison had the mind that it works. After trying to develop the light bulb and failing for around 1,000 times, he had his mind that it works. For you also, you must have the mind that it works. No matter what kind of situation you face right now, you must have the mind that it works. It can be done. It is not impossible. I can do it. When you have this kind of mind, then you begin to move towards the success goal that you have. But if you are negative, if you have the mind that it is impossible, it does not work. It turns out that way and it does not work. So you must always, in everything that you do, you must always have the mind that it works. No one goes to battle when then they are fighting and then they keep saying they are about to beat me, they are about to beat me. You must have the mind that you are conquering, you are conquering. And then you can gain strength to fight your wars that you fight. There are various wars that people are fighting in their lives. There are battles that people are fighting, unspoken battle that is in their minds. But like it says in our mind education, the battles are won or lost in the mind. Either you win in your mind or you lose in your mind. When you lose in your mind, you lose on the physical. When you win in your mind, you go forward, though immediately you do not win, but you go forward with that mind of it can be done. Now, let's go to our next slide. There it says that we have about 70% water in our bodies. What does this have to do with our power of words today? And then it said, let me show you how does it affect us. Now, the power of words. It says here in Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiment. Maybe you haven't heard the word Masaru Emoto before. Masaru Emoto is a Japanese scientist. This Japanese scientist he started to test water and to see what was the effect of the words that were spoken to the water. And when he was able to do this study, he got to know that by saying negative things to the water, they actually form very, very distorted crystals. But by saying positive things to the waters, he recognized that they develop a lot of wonderful crystals. So anyway, let's see this video, and then you can gather a lot of information from Dr. Emoto's experiment and test that he did. So we'll go to the video right there, and then you will be able to see what is this Dr. Emoto's experiment.
Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm.
That is amazing, right? Maybe you could do your own experiment. You could do the rice experiment, or maybe you could get some fruits and write on them, "I hate you, I love you," and see what is the effect that these words have on the things. And then from there, you will be very cautious about what you say to your children, to yourself. And when you wake up in the morning, whether you do the auto-suggestion by saying, "I'm getting better and better day by day." I believe that this can actually have a lot of positive effect on your day-to-day activities. Waking up in the morning, and even without anything being funny, and just laugh and smile, ha ha ha, actually have a lot of positive effect on us, because it forms our day. Waking up in the morning and doing something positive can make your day to be a very positive one. But waking up in the morning and then maybe you and your spouse, you all have a fight and something, you go to work. If you have the experience, once you go to the working place, it will have a lot of negative effect on your work. It is very, very true, and it's very important for you to know these things. That's why, especially if you are a person that do like things like doctor's work, or you do things like some very important works in the society, You know, having a person that is negative close to you is very dangerous. That's why those who are doctors must choose very, very wisely what kind of people they get married to. Their spouse might be someone that might help them, and this person might save a lot of lives, but another person might have a spouse that will make the doctor keep worrying, and the doctor could, kill a lot of people based on the worries that he has. It's very important. Now we go to our next slide. It's a study proof that good manners among couples and healthy words prolong lifespan. It is just what I'm saying. If you have a spouse that is positive and a lot of good things you can say to people, thank you, I know I love you, uh, you are a wonderful person. These things actually can have a lot of effect on us. The people who, fight. Let's go to the next slide there. You see the guy, he's in anger, he's shouting. And then it says that constant anger help create health issue. Actually, the constant anger of a person can usually lead to, having hypertension and a lot of problems. If even you go to the doctors, they tell you, don't worry, don't get angry, right? It is very important to know this because these things have they have a lot of negative effect on us. I hope that you can know that the words that you speak, they are powerful, and then you can speak a lot of nice words to yourself, that these words can propel you in your life day by day and even into a very bright future. And then you can be a person that cannot be some kind of menace to society, but rather you can be a person that can actually give a lot of positive things to society by also having a lot of positive things inside of your mind. Thank you very much. And I hope that you be able to practice these things in your life. If you have a partner, I want to give you a homework. Even I myself, I did this with my partner, and I could see that, my wife and myself, we are living very, very happy. We usually say nice things to each other. I love you. When I wake up in the morning time, I will say this nice thing to her. I love you. You are a person that in my life, I don't know how I could have lived without having you. There are issues that we have. Not that we are void of various problems like other couples. No. We have issues also. But by speaking the nice words, these things can also form the good atmosphere between us. And sometimes based on these words, based on words that we can say to people, it can make us to either hold back on some kind of decisions that could destroy our relationship or not. Promise your spouse, say to the person, we'll live together forever. Even the reason why as pastors we say the words till death do our part, it is because those words are positive. It can actually hook people's mind when they go to the point where they want to get divorced with their wives. They can come to realize that these things, they said something positive before, that I'm the person that can take the bullet for you. I'm the person that, the only thing that can separate us is death. And that is the reason why you can see that those people who have these things in their mind, they have a lot of positive time together. So I hope that you can live your life not looking at a lot of negative things and living in complaint, but rather you can live with a lot of power inside of your heart from the words that you speak to yourself, from the words that you hear, from the kind of association that you have. I hope to see you next time, and I believe that by practicing these things, it can truly make you to be a great person. Thank you, and I hope that you have an amazing time this week. Thank you very much.